Okie dokies.
Okie dokie. Hey everyone.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we sat down to film, sat down to chat.
Yeah, it sure has been. It's exciting to be able to do this with you guys. Sit down and let you know what's been going on.
Yeah, we thought we would just film like a casual, chatty video, catch you up on what's been happening so far in the year and what our plans are for 2022.
Yeah.
So
after fairly uneventful 2020 and 2021, 2022 is going to be a big year of transition, not just for us, but for family members, and yeah, it's exciting. We've got some exciting news to share.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I actually have like a little notebook with bullet points on the side of everything we need to tell you, because it's just so much that I'm afraid that something's gonna,
Yeah.
Anyways, what should we start with?
Why don't we start about your parents' news?
Okay.
Yeah.
So my parents are finally selling their home. This is, I guess, not my childhood home, but I moved in here when I was 12, so it has been the longest home I've had in Canada.
Yeah, like over 20 years, right?
22 years in this house.
I mean, this house has meant a lot to me as well. We've spent a big part of the quarantine and the pandemic here. We also got married in the backyard here. We had the reception.
The reception. We had the reception here.
Yeah.
Oh, I had forgotten
my
my
grandma came here. My parents have been here. Even before, I mean, I remember the first time I came here when I met your parents without you in this house. So that was like in between the teaching contracts in Korea.
Yeah,
I had a layover.
Slept over.
I slept over and met the family.
Yeah.
It's a bit daunting to meet your your partner's family without them being there. But you had the same experience meeting mine too.
I did.
And it was also here, wasn't it?
Also here, yeah.
So yeah, this home's had a lot of memories here, without a doubt.
So like I mentioned, I moved in here when I was 12 and I lived here until I was 24, at which point I moved to Korea and then we traveled around. And like we always came back here in between trips as like a little base and like trampolined off to the next destination. And then when the pandemic hit, we were about to move somewhere and everything kind of got put on hold.
For 2 years.
And we spent the pandemic here. So this has been home sweet home.
I spent about 75% of the pandemic here and 25% at my parents' place. So yeah, we've been in between family. And it's been fantastic. We've spent some really good quality time with both sides of our family.
Yeah.
And so it's been a bonus. And I mean, yeah, this place is just like I've said a few times, we just have a lot of memories here. It's just a lot of milestones have been celebrated in this very home. So.
And a lot of plans have been made. And I should mention, we're like in the basement apartment. My parents have like an apartment suite, and they've been gracious enough to allow us to stay here.
I mean, yeah, we've turned this into like a little apartment. It's been cozy. It's been great for getting work done. And it's also just been nice to be surrounded with family. Like we get along great with everyone, and it's really fun.
But this house has been sold. We are saying goodbye to it. Well, time to leave the house.
Yeah.
While the showings take place.
Showings taking place. We've got to get out of here.
3 showings tonight.
Not the best weather, but what can you do, right?
Yeah.
It was raining before. Now it might be snowing. So
first day of showings, guys.
Yeah.
Yesterday it went on the market, late afternoon, kind of evening, and now we've got 3 people coming by. Okay.
Now we got the ice coming down. It's not snow, it's not rain, it's ice pellets.
We came to visit the ducks and the swans. Togo is very interested. All right, guys, day 2 that we have to be out of the house for the showings.
It's time for an extra hour.
Yeah, so yesterday it was 3 hours and 3 different groups of people came to see it. It wasn't a good day because of the weather. It was really bad. We had a snowstorm / ice storm.
Yeah, we were getting pelted by ice pellets.
Yeah.
Like it felt like little grains of sand were
hitting you in the face,
smacking us in the face constantly. But today it's much more beautiful in terms of weather. It's a bit more sunny and a bit nicer. but it's considerably colder.
Yeah, today it's minus 20.
Minus 20 with the wind chill.
And so far we have 6 showings taking place. We might get a few more. I've got my phone receiving notifications.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And this is even before the main day that is being shown on Saturday. This
Saturday is the open house.
The free open house. So lots of interest. That's exciting. Yeah, also today we have the geese have come back. And we're here with my dad as well. My dad in Togoch.
Yeah.
Here we are, bitter cold winter's day.
Yeah, it's not the good time to sell a house in the middle of the winter, a Canadian winter. But sometimes things happen and you cannot dictate. So this is what we have in our hands right now.
Yes.
And
killing time in the cold.
Yeah, you know what? If we did not have this big dog with us, we could have gone to a restaurant or maybe
the movies or the mall, anything indoors.
What do you do with Togo? You know, like he's our 4-legged boy, and then this is what happens.
Okay. Let's talk about the trip.
The trip. Okay. So last week I spent 48 hours in Alberta with my mom, my sister Ariel, and we went house hunting because my parents are actually moving out of province, and when they visited the Rockies a few years ago, they fell in love with the place and they ended up finding their dream home online. So we went to go look at it in person, and it turned out to be even better than what we had imagined.
They've always dreamed of living out in the mountains, living out in nature. And it just coincides with kind of the housing market here in Canada. For those of you who aren't so familiar, sort of the Greater Toronto area has been a hotter market for quite some time. And out in Alberta, there's relative value in terms of what you can get versus what you can get here in Ontario. Yeah. So I mean, not only do you get the Rocky Mountains, but there's a bit more affordability out west as well.
Yeah, that's actually like really cool that you mentioned that, because as an example, this house sold in 3 days, and the one we're buying sold in 45 days. Yeah. So not quite as hot as you can tell, and they're in a very rural area.
Nothing against this.
Remote.
Nothing against this house, but the one they're moving to is quite a bit nicer.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like it's a dream kind of home.
It really is.
It really is.
Oh, I guess this would be a good place to show you the footage of the trip. So let's cut to Alberta.
Yeah, snowy Alberta.
She has one. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Alberta. I'm here with my sister Ariel. My mom's in the back, and we just flew into Calgary last night. We're here for 48 hours of house hunting on behalf of my parents. So yeah, we're gonna be looking at homes with my mom and my sister. And we're not meeting with the realtor until later this afternoon, so we had free time this morning. We drove around downtown Calgary for a bit. I had never seen the city before. Very nice. It's like a small downtown, very clean, very organized. We may have made some wrong turns because there's certain streets that are just one way, and you know, everything is covered in snow, so you can't see lanes or anything. We keep going west towards Banff. So yeah, it's kind of strange getting used to driving in a different city, but we've got it under control. We've kind of figured it out. We're figuring it out. And right now we're driving out towards Canmore because that's what we have time for. That's as far as we can go. And we just wanted to get close to the mountains. And we're on the Trans-Canada Highway already, getting impressive views. Everything is covered in snow. they actually had a really big snowstorm over the weekend before we flew out here. Like Saturday and Sunday it was storming, and we landed Monday evening.
The steering wheel takes me.
Steering wheel. Okay, we're in this fancy modern car that keeps trying to correct my sister's driving. It keeps telling her, you're not in the center of your lane, but we are. So yeah, we don't like that. But we're super happy to be here. We'll bring you along for the rest of the day and see what we find. These are the views. All right, good morning everyone. It is day 2 house hunting for my parents' future home. And yeah, I thought I would give you a little update. So we saw several houses yesterday. In the end, none of them were for us. The first one was beautiful, gorgeous, the best views we saw out of all the homes. But that house was kind of small. It only had 2 finished bedrooms, and the idea is that my parents want to have a slightly bigger home so the whole family can come visit, grandkids, the whole shebang. Also, that home was conditionally sold already, so that's too bad. Then the second house we went to see, we had really liked it, found it online about a week ago. By the time we got there, it was also conditionally sold, but the realtor still wanted to show us the place, so we had an idea of what the homes look like in that part of the province. Also, the basement wasn't finished, so it wouldn't have been ideal. Home number 3 was a little too big and just slightly above our price range, and it didn't feel very homey. Like, it was nice, it was luxurious, but it didn't really feel like warm and cozy, like, oh, I would want to hang out and linger here. So that one also kind of got discarded. And then some homes we weren't able to see because the PIN didn't work to get into the house. Others weren't going on the market for another day or 2. So yeah, we didn't find the one, but we have one more to look at today in a different part of the province. We drove like 2.5 hours yesterday to reach this new area where we spent the night. And yeah, super calm. Let me show you the views. We have lots of farmland, prairies, but we are driving towards the mountains. It's kind of hard to see because I would need a zoom lens to really show you the magnitude of the mountains, but they are beautiful and we're getting even closer. Also, one thing we've really noticed here in Alberta is that people are super friendly, super nice, in a good mood, really great customer service. And it's been a change from what we're used to in Toronto, where people can be a bit more rough or in a hurry, sometimes even grumpy. So that's been a nice change. And yeah, we're really liking the area so far, and we'll see how everything goes today. So yeah, that was the trip. As you can see, we did a lot on the first day. We viewed 5 different houses. None of them were it, but then on day 2, we went to see the one that we booked the whole trip for. Like, we booked tickets to look at this one house. And yes, that was the one. I'm not showing that one yet. We will reveal it soon enough.
When we're there.
When we're
actually there.
But while I was on that trip, Samuel had an accident.
It was me and your dad.
Which is announcement number 3.
Hanging out. Well, we were having a great time. Such a good time, in fact, that we had scheduled homemade pizzas, and the missing ingredients was I was going to walk out in a bad condition weather in the snow and go get some pizza dough and some cheese. We already had the sauce, we had the meat, we were ready to go with some pizzas and wine. Mm-hmm. And there was some kind of freak weather the day before, I should mention. It had rained heavily, and that had caused a lot of the snow to melt and freeze. And the craziest thing was your dad and I had like a 20-minute discussion before I went out, talking about like safety and like how to be careful out there and like, you know, not slip and fall. And I'll be honest with you, I was really careful for a good portion of the walk. But suddenly there was sort of black ice in front of me, and I just didn't notice it in front of me. I think I was getting a little overconfident, and suddenly I had the ultimate banana peel ice slip fall, launched into the air and landed directly on my left shoulder. Like, it took the entire brunt of the fall. And I knew when it happened, something was really wrong, because I've had some really spectacular falls in the winter before. And like, it really hurts and you're a lot of pain, but you kind of just, you know, dust yourself up, get back up. And yeah, you're sore, but you keep walking. But like, there was something seriously
You said your
wrong.
fingers started like curling weird. Like something was...
like my body was going into shock, and I somehow got myself back to the house, and I got rushed to the emergency room. Fortunately, I was in a lot of pain, almost like involuntarily. Oh, like, that's the most painful thing I've ever experienced. So it ended up being a separated shoulder.
A dislocated shoulder, like out of socket, right?
Yeah, it came right out, and so what happened was they kind of
knocked you out.
They did knock me out, but like, it was so nice to people at the hospital realized like I was in some serious pain, so I was seen quite quickly, had an X-ray, then I was put out, and when I woke up, I felt so much better. Like, they obviously had put my shoulder back in, they had given me some painkillers, and I was just kind of like waking up. Yeah, that happened close to a week ago. And it's been a slow process to get better. I'm going to be in a sling for a couple of weeks, and then I'm going to have physio, and then I'm going to strengthen the arm. It's a several-month injury from what I've been reading.
For a full recovery.
For a full recovery. Yeah. And it's one of those injuries where if you try to do too much too soon, you can re-aggravate it and go all the way back to step one. So I'm really taking it easy. I'm feeling better every day, and I'm sleeping through the night now, which is just fantastic. It's kind of like when you've had that kind of a health scare, you just start appreciating so many of the small things again in life, like just waking up feeling healthy again, waking up not being in pain.
You know, I was going to the supermarket this afternoon, and I actually saw a young guy walking around with a sling, and I thought like, oh man, was that another icy injury? Because we've had a really rough winter. It's been like blizzards and ice storms and freezing rain.
And touch and go, like we'll have like -20, -30, and then it'll be like +7. Melt all that snow, freeze, make it 10 times as treacherous, and repeat. My mindset, honestly, has been, I plan to come out of this injury feeling better and stronger than before I got hurt.
So within the next month, we are going to be traveling to a country that speaks Spanish, and we're also going to be moving to another country that speaks Spanish for part of the year, because there's a project we're going to be working on down there. I don't want to tell you where yet until the tickets are booked, because to me, nothing is official until you've actually paid for the airfare, and we're doing that next week.
Also, who doesn't like a good surprise, right?
Like
a little cliffhanger here. So, yeah, sorry guys, we're gonna keep the cliffhanger. So.
Yeah, we'll let you guess in the comments. 2 countries, one we're traveling to, one we're moving to. Both speak Spanish.
Yeah,
very different.
So
Spanish,
yeah, it's exciting. It feels like plans are moving ahead. Progress is being made. In all areas of our lives, and it's an exciting time. It's just nice to see good things happening for people in our families as well.
So yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why the videos have been a little bit sporadic. We try to publish every single weekend, but lately it's been a lot of packing and like showing the house and traveling back and forth. So it has been chaotic, but things are coming together.
You've been involved in every single process.
Oh, yes.
So you've learned a lot about, buying, selling houses,
I interviewed
agents.
the realtors. I booked inspections, septic tank inspections.
Negotiations.
Yes, I read contracts. I know how to sell a house and how to buy a house.
So there's a new skill you learned. Yeah.
So that's what we've been up to.
So,
and I'm trying to think, there's a few more little bits and bobs of news.
Yeah.
Shall I keep spewing?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Just let it all out.
Okay, so my sister is having her second baby in like a week, in a matter of days. So we just saw her yesterday, and that means we're going to be auntie and uncle again
Once
for the
again.
second time to a baby girl.
Yeah.
And what else is happening? Oh, Sam decided to grow out his hair.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he is making progress.
A little
with that.
bit. I mean, you guys have seen him with Wolverine hair before.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
we're going for the
I'm gonna grow
shoulder
it the
length.
longest. I've never grown it shoulder length. I have sort of thick, curly, wavy red hair.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious to see what it looks like. It's gonna take me. Like, I'm just in the beginning stages.
Well, it's getting
But-
to the Leonardo DiCaprio face.
Oh gosh. You were probably trying to compliment me. That's an insult.
No,
I'm
no.
just kidding.
That's just what it looks like this.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm trying to think. Oh, we're also about to hit 400,000 subscribers on this channel.
Oh,
so I
man.
think we should try to do a little celebration.
Yeah, we will.
Just at
Thanks so
home.
much, guys. It's
Yes.
been so much support throughout the years. We would
Yes.
never have guessed we would get anywhere near this amount of support when we first started. I mean, just think of the awkward, cringy videos we
I
made.
don't want to think back to
Yeah,
it. I
guys,
don't.
don't go too far back in the back catalog.
No, we've made a lot private. That's the thing.
Oh. Anyways, that's just how it is. It's like with anything you do, it takes time and progress. And
Yes.
so appreciate the support.
Yeah.
I think our channel is going to be entering a new golden age as well too.
A new phase.
Yeah, with the project we're going to be pursuing, and we're very excited about it. So yeah, shall we turn it over to them?
Over to you guys.
So over to you guys. Yeah, how have you all been doing? Have you been healthy? Anyone got injured in the winter like me?
I hope not.
I hope not. And if so, how's that going? How's the recovery going? Any tips? Any suggestions? Anyone moving anywhere? Anything during the last couple of years during the pandemic that's changed your life plans? We'd love to know. So
Yes.
let us know. And
So let us know in the comments. I think we'll say goodbye for now because we have managed to ramble for over 20 minutes at this
ramblers.
point.
So
yeah, we hope you enjoyed this little catch up. Thank you for being a part of this
Yes.
community, for
Thanks as
tagging
always.
along. We're feeling really good and really excited for what's ahead. And we're going to be bringing you along over these coming weeks,
Oh yeah.
showing you the process.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you posted.
Right.
And more announcements coming soon.
For sure.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Ta ta.